What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Spectator Mode Podcast. Wow. As always, I'm your host, Keith Mitchell, and at the other side of my screen is my buddy, Scott. Scott, what's going on?
I think you just are getting too PAX happy. You're putting A before everything.
Oh, look at you. I can't talk either. That's contagious. Folks,
I know.
Before we go into the show, I do apologize if I lose my voice. It's been going in and out most of the day. Mostly because I've been yelling in frustration. Yeah. Oh, and Scott, we're going to amend the topics and add one more thing that you just reminded me of with game science. We'll get to that in a minute. But as always, folks, before we start our podcast, we like to talk about the games that we have played this week. For me, I've been playing a lot of Mecha Break. For those who don't know, other than being a big Souls-like fan, I am a big Mecha fan. Gundam, Macross, Voltes 5, Voltron, Menzinger. I can be here all day talking about giant robots anime because I love them all. Pat Labor. So being able to play this game is like, wow, this is like Gundam Evolution. This is like Zone of the Enders, Armored Core, all tossed into one. It's a great game, and I will be talking about it for a little bit later on the show. I also have a preview of the game coming out either tomorrow or Thursday, so look forward to that. Obviously more Elden Ring because I'm playing with Jordan, who won't leave me alone about that game. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be calling me during the podcast. He was like, "So Keith, some Elden Ring." I'm gonna go, but the podcast, sir. The podcast comes first. That's all I can talk to you about because I don't break NDAs and embargoes and betray developers and publishers' trust. More on that later. So what you got, Scott? Oh, and I have a cup of coffee. So yeah, coffee.
That helps. So for those of you who have looked at the site, I did publish my review of Monster Mon Peace. That's a fun little game that I wasn't expecting to be as long as it was.
I kept reading that as Monster Monocle. I don't know why that is.
I don't know. I don't know why they called it Monster Mon Peace either, but I mean, it's fun. If you can get past the fan service, it's actually a pretty solid game. Deck building's fun. The deck construction, utilizing cards and everything. Basically, always using fusion to get past a lot of the what the computer thinks is a weak card until you fuse it with something else, and then they realize, oh no. So, that's always fun. Another game that I've been playing is actually going through Baldur's Gate again with my wife.
Again? See, this is why I don't like
by
you.
Again, it's more of we finally went back to it.
This is why I don't like you, because I'm jealous. Your wife plays games with you, and I try and get my wife to play games. She goes, no games with you, unless it's a stupid iPhone game.
Oh,
play that. I mean, I'm not going to say that's not a game, but
it's not the same as playing an actual.
It's not a game
with someone.
It's not a real game. It's not a real game, wife. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's fun. We actually finally got to the Baldur's Gate. So we finally are in the Act 3 bits. And my wife did the first thing she could find and stole money from the kid that steals from you in Act 1, which made all the guards want to kill us. It was great.
See, that's the thing. I do want to go back and play through it and just, be the complete and total dick. Instead of being the good guy, just go back and be the complete and total ass that you can be and just cause as much issues as you can. But
she was just a little salty in Act 1 because for those of you who played like Baldur's Gate 3, this little kid will steal from you if you try to buy something from him. And so you don't see it. You see him again in like Act 2 barely, but he doesn't want to sell you anything. But Act 3 is when you finally get to see him again to sell. And then while I was trying to buy stuff from him, she stole from him, and then all the guards went to attack us.
Did you save the best girl?
What, did I save Minthara? Yes. No,
I meant Shadowheart.
Oh yeah, Shadowheart is saved. Yeah, she's no longer a Shar acolyte anymore, which is nice. She's given her a new life over to Saloon now that she figured out her whole past thing. So yeah, Baldur's Gate's fun, especially when you have playing with someone. But yeah, it took us like 3 hours to get back into the swing of things because we forgot where we were at beforehand. We knew we were at the end and the end of Act 2. We didn't remember where.
That's always fun. You pick up and play something like, wait, what was I doing 6 months ago? I don't recall. Yeah, it's always fun.
But it's too far in now that you can't go back. Especially if we went back to do Act 1, we would already have so many extra things we'd probably do.
I mean, you can go back, but the thing is, do you really want to go back?
No, not particularly, just because with Kelsey, it takes us a while to get time to play games together. So
I was looking at you like, did you say that suddenly or so quiet? You looked for a second when you wait for her to hear you. So she comes in the room and go, what did you just say?
Always got to be worried. But yeah, she's at work, so I don't have to worry about her catching me saying anything. But I did realize that my OP build of the fighter dual wielder with AC of 28 can still get bombarded by guards from Baldur's Gate 3. I thought I was going to be safe. I even did like some extra stuff to get my character up to jump. So my character is a Githyanki, which means that his jumping capacity is ridiculous. So I jumped to the highest building I could find so that the only people who could hurt me were archers. And then one of their sorcerers cast like 2 elementals right next to me, so it didn't even matter.
I was like, wait a second, you but magic people can catch you everywhere. What are you talking
There's
about?
only 2 sorcerers. I thought I was fine. I'm like, their spells either aren't going to reach me or they're going to have a lot of disadvantage. And then they just did a bunch of summoning spells. I'm like, well, that's just cheating. So yeah, I did die eventually, but it took me like 30 turns of casting Cloud Kill to get rid of most of the guards before the elementals killed me.
My Steam Deck just came on by itself. That's weird. Wow.
Then the final game I've been playing is Zoneless Zen Zero. I've been going through some of the story.
I can't get into that game. I can't get into it. I tried. I can't.
It's I don't like blame a lot of people because it's not a lot of people's speed, because it's basically like a lot of people were thinking of it as like it was like they're gonna be like their next big action RPG type of a deal, but it's basically just a better controlling system of their like Honkai Impact the Third game, where it's just an action game more or less. There's not a whole lot of RPG mechanics in the actual gameplay, but there's a lot with the actual building of the characters. But so yeah, I can understand how some people don't like ZZZ, but I'm still having fun with it, and I keep not getting the characters I want. I gotta wait for another banner, probably to get another character that I might hopefully will get, but that means I'm now no longer on a 50-50 spin. So whatever character is in the next limited banner, I'm gonna be guaranteed to get. But yeah, ZCC is still something I slowly get into. I have been doing actually the summer event for Genshin too. So Genshin Impact has a summer event going on that you have to do a bunch of stuff to get an outfit for Kiara, who is the cat person basically in Genshin. But that's basically the games I've been playing this week.
I was about to say, wait a second, Scott. You usually have this list.
Well, there has been one game that I need to work on. I guess that one's not actually under embargo, which is Shikon X, which is called the Astro Defense Force. But it's a really short, it's a 2.5-hour game. That is, if you actually get through it, it's some of the, like, one of my critiques of Shikon is it's kind of like it's in the same vein as a point and click game where you just have to figure out the puzzle to advance the plot kind of a deal. But the problem is they don't always give you a good amount of hints to figure out what the puzzle even is. So sometimes you just like have to fumble into the solution by just getting it, like clicking on everything you can find kind of a deal. So, I mean, once you figure it out, though, you could probably like get through the game in like 45 minutes. But it's a fun little story because the comedy is really fun. It's basically a story of this person is the one person who can take on this big alien threat who wants to conquer the world kind of a deal. And you just basically figure out all these puzzles to get yourself to the enemy airship kind of a deal. And finish the job, but it's not nearly as cut and dry as the premise leads you to believe. They have a lot more extra twists, especially near the end, about how these aliens work. But it's kind of cool. I'm going to be posting a review on that either this week or next week, depending on when I get my other previews done.
Scott is a busy man. He is
Seriously.
a very busy man. All right, well, let's jump into the topics because we got quite a few of them to get through, and I'm pretty sure we'll think of something along the way. So, as I mentioned, I've been playing a lot of Mecha Break, and this is a game that was announced a couple years ago, but I think it really got a big push during the Summer Game Fest when everybody who was there saw it. It was like, wow, this looks really good. So, as I mentioned, this game, it feels like a combination of playing Gundam games, Armored Core, Zone of the Enders, especially Zone of the Enders when you're flying. This game has a lot of air combat. And I don't mean the Bandai Namco game. I mean actual air combat. And it's just a lot of fun. So when I first heard about this game, I was like, okay, it's just a bunch of robots fighting against each other in random places. But it's not. This game is actually really structured. So you have like light, medium, and I think it's like heavy or ultra, something like that. And basically, there are roles. Now you can have a ranged attacker. You have some that are ranged and melee. You have specific ones that are strictly melee. You have super ultra mega guys who are like massive guns, slow as heck, but they can put a hurting on you. Yeah, they're pretty much like the tanks, exactly. So, you have like your scouts, you have like your mediums, and then you have your tanks. Some can heal. Some are really good for poking holes. Some are really good for causing interruptions. It's a lot of strategy with this game, and it's actually really cool that the game has a really interesting character creator where you can just go with your basic model, or you can go really in depth. I mean, really in depth to the point where you can customize your asses, your cheeks, and somebody literally made a video of somebody's ass cheeks clapping, and I was like, "What?"
This one of those character creators.
Yeah, literally everything you can think about changing, you can change. Still, the hair still sucks. I mean, I'm not gonna go on a tangent here about hair, but guys, we have more than a Killmonger, and we have different hair, so get on that. But the combat is really fun. I've logged hours in this game, and I really like what they have here. It's really solid for what it is. I don't have any real complaints with it outside of the arenas itself, the perimeters or certain ones where if you're fighting and you forget, it goes, oh, hey, you're out of bounds, get back in bounds, or we're going to kill you. Or if you go really high up, and certain mechs are really good for speed and you like to play around, some of them transform and you're like zipping around in the air and it goes, oh, hey, you got to come back down. And it kind of breaks the immersion because, like, what if I just want to go straight up and then straight down and just shoot everything at everybody? And it kind of ruins the experience with that. But other than that, it's a lot of fun. This game is really cool. And it's a 6v6. When I first started playing the game, the first mission was you had to fight this giant robot. And during the playtest, that's not there. So I'm really hoping that there are more missions than just, oh, hey, go fight these random 6 people. I really hope it goes, oh, hey, we've got boss battles and something, because fighting that giant robot was pretty cool. But at the same time, the first time you fought the robot, you're like, what exactly am I doing here? You're scrambling to figure out how to use your striker, which is the name of the mech. A lot of that. And I want that back because they really have something here that I think that a lot of fans of Mecha, like me, are going to enjoy. You also could modify your strikers, and I like how they do this. It's a risk versus reward thing. You can't take off the arms or legs or anything like that, but you get mods. Basically, as you play and you level up, there's a battle pass system. Of course. There is. You get chests, and you can open those chests, and you get in-game currency and special paints you can change the color of your paint. I am a little frustrated with the paint system because you can only paint 4 different things. I'm like, I want to make mine look like a Gundam.
Yeah.
And I can only go but so
paintable.
far. Right. So that's frustration. But the mods, you also get mods. You have no control over them. It's just here, you get this, and certain mods only work for certain strikers. And even then, you have mods that are like, okay, I'll make your boosters faster, but your lateral boosting is slow. Or I'll make you do better melee, but there's going to be a delay as you attack. So you have to figure out, okay, is this better, or do I really want to deal with the detriment of, okay, this might not be good for me, which is great because it reminds me of Mech Warrior, where it's like, okay, you can build this big hunking beast if you want, but you're heavy now, so you're slower, and you have a lot of heat. Make up your mind, which one do you want? Which equalizes the playing field, and I think that's exactly what the developer was going for. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm not sure how many people got into the play test, but I've been playing this as much as I can. Scott, if you have it, you definitely should jump in. I've been playing with the keyboard and mouse, and I can't believe how well it plays with keyboard and mouse.
A game that's 3D that actually works.
The only thing that sucks is turning. Your turn radius. You're turning, and you're like, instead of being able to go, oh, okay, so that needs to be worked on. But then again, it's like, hey, these are massive robots. They're not Gundams, where Gundams turn on a dime.
No, they're meant to show a little bit of range.
Right. But it's fun. I've like I said, I cannot stop speaking the praises of Mech Break. I think they really have something special here. And even for people who don't like PvP, I really do think they're going to enjoy it. If you like Gundam Evolution and you were pissed off that game went away, this game, if you were pissed that Gundam Evolution went away, like this guy, this game. So hopefully it does well when it comes out. I don't know if it's going to be a free to play or if they're going to charge for it. I don't know that. It doesn't feel like it's free to play. I think this is going to be, because I didn't see any microtransactions, but then again, it is a play test. Maybe it'll come later.
Yeah,
hopefully they don't come, and it's just you have to buy this game.
Yeah.
So
it's just, I guess if it is, it just depends on what kind of price point is it going to be. They're going to do the full 60, or they're going to do like the $30 or $40 range.
Oh wait, the other thing I'm most pissed off at is at the end of the game, just like Overwatch, there's like you have the MVP and something else. And it depends on how well you did. And I'm looking at the system like, I've got more interrupts than you, I've got more kills than you, I didn't die, I've done more damage to you. How are you MVP?
I wonder if it's like the old Overwatch system where it was about the flash rather than the stats. They did one really good play and that made them the MVP versus.
It also has a really nice replay system. So when you're done, or when you die, it shows you how exactly you died. And when you finish the game, it shows you your highlights. Even if they weren't highlights, they show you.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's really nice. And you can save them and export them. But right now, it takes a long time. But I'm really enjoying this game a lot more than I thought I would. So I'm looking forward to when Mecha Break comes out. It's not until like 2025, which is sad. And this playtest isn't going to be around forever. So
you got to give it as much time as you can get.
If you have access to Mecha Break and you like Gundams, and I keep saying Gundams because that is the popular mecha out there.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. I'll die on that hill. Play the game.
Yeah, even people who don't know a whole lot about mechs most likely know about Gundam.
They know Gundam. They know Gundam. And if it's not Gundam, it's I'm gonna say it wrong. Neo Evangelion.
Oh yeah, Genesis
Evangelion. The damn robot Shinji. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I can't wait to play some more. Though I'm pretty sure after this show, it'll be Jordan asking me to play some more Elden Ring. So yeah, so switching up to something a little more not positive. So Remedy has come out and said that Alan Wake 2 has yet to recoup all the money they put into the game, which is a tale of two stories. One, the game's not selling well. Two, scope.
Yeah.
You put too much money into that game and you're not reaping what you wanted. Which is a shame because Remedy is an amazing company.
Yeah, and Alan Wake 2 was a really good game too. So it's sad that it isn't making the royalties that it probably, I guess, could have. But I guess, with the scope, it also makes you wonder how much money it must have had to have so much extra for it to be, because it sold over 1 million copies pretty easily. So
so one of my theories about this is, and I know a lot of people are going to shit on me for saying this. Sorry, don't care. It's just the fact that this game is exclusive to Epic Games. People are like, no, I'm not going to play it.
Yeah. And the whole digital only didn't help with the console gamers.
Right. So that was 2 strikes and it didn't help. I used to be one of those people that were like, look, if it's not on Steam, it's not worth my time. And
yeah.
You know, you can't have that mindset. You simply cannot have that mindset, because there are some great games on Epic Game Store that just are not on Steam. Alan Wake 2 is not on Steam. And guys, they have an exclusivity deal. It probably will never come to Steam.
Yeah, it might not.
Get over it.
Which is going to be sad, but it's the way that the business works for, at least with Epic, especially with them having so much control with the Unreal Engine. Like, anytime they get engineers to help different companies work with Unreal Engine, it seems like they have some kind of exclusivity deals that have to go into effect with it.
Right. So it's sad. But on the positive side, they did mention that they are now working on Control 2.
That is Epic.
Yeah, right there. Right there. I mean, everybody liked Alan Wake 2, but it was like, all right, but we want more Control. Control 1 is still an amazing game. If you've not played Control, go and play Control.
Yeah.
This is me fanboying right now. There is nothing like playing Control on a specced out PC with all the bells and whistles and for Control in your hand.
Especially because they do a lot with optimizing the original Control on PC, because like there's a lot of effects that you can control. There's a lot of like basically particles that you can also just have time to actually work on. Like there's so many things you could work on with Control on a PC because of just how much they implemented it into the optimization of the game. And I mean, my thing is, Alan Wake 2 is a great story and a great like thing, but the gameplay is the worst part of the game. Control is not that way. The story is still really good in Control, but the gameplay is still king.
Yeah, the control. Wow, the story in Control is good, and it will pull you in, and the DLC will also pull you in. It's for lack of a better word, it is one of the games that you can say is perhaps perfect.
Yeah,
but the gameplay in that game is king. The gameplay in Control is king, and there's still nothing. And I'm not going to spoil it, but you know what I'm talking about. When you pull up to that one level and the music is pumping and things start going crazy, and it's like, what is going on? Still one of the best experiences I've ever had playing a game. Love it. I feel for Remedy. That exclusive deal on Steam is probably hurting it, because I think a lot of sales would have come from the PC end of things.
Yeah.
I think people tend to buy this game more on the PC just because they've seen how it looked and how it performs on the PC. Yeah. I know there was some issues on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. I don't know.
There was some issues, especially in the beginning when it came to going to like the mind room. When you'd pause to go to the mind room, there'd be some like weird stutters and stuff. But that was just because of how fast they tried to make everything work.
And I don't know if they've addressed those issues or not, but I do know they've tightened up a lot of things on the PC. So good stuff there. You got to go play that game. If you have not played that game, please go play that game, for the love of God.
Yeah, and it still doesn't have the Epic still has a weird online DRM for some games that shouldn't have online DRM for.
Yeah, DRM. Speaking of DRM, thank you for that, Scott. We will segue to another game. Another game. We're going to switch up the topics here. So, you may see my title on my screen. It says no Black Myth Wukong for me. And that's because Game Science, I guess, is getting bombarded because they have told a lot of content creators, reviewers, that they are not getting access to this game before it comes out. What stinks, because we were talking to the PR for quite some time. I was like, give it. And they're like, no, none for you. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game reviews. I've heard some people saying that there's performance issues on the PlayStation 5. The other people have disputed that and said, no, it's fine. But there was recently a benchmark released for the PC.
Yeah.
And there's been some complaints about the benchmark. Honestly, I don't think it's a good benchmark. Just because it's just taking us through screens or parts of the game that are rendered and there's no action. So obviously, anytime we play a game and you have your main character, and obviously when the character's fighting or going through something and more things get introduced to the screen, your performance, your frame rate, depending on what you have, will start to tank. This benchmark gave us no impressions of that.
Yeah.
So it's not a real indicative metric on how the game's going to run on PC. So I'm really surprised they released this in this form. I've tried it on a couple of my machines. My machines are like, oh, this is easy, don't worry about it. But I'm wondering when I crank
what happens when there's giant particle effects,
right? When the particles are going and the characters are on the screen and there's nothing but fighting, and my 49 is going to go, okay, wait, I'm dying now. And if there's a 49 that's going, wait, I need help, then God help the rest.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's just
especially
like,
if you're on an Intel processor. Really good luck.
We're not going to talk about Intel processors. They got some problems, but you know what? Intel is not the only one that has problems right now. AMD's got some problems too.
Yeah.
So they all got problems, but yeah, I don't see the Steam Deck running this game. It'll be interesting to see it. I'm going to try.
It's running at like 420p.
Ooh, I'm going to try and run this on my ROG Ally. It's going to be interesting to see how it does.
Ooh,
but yeah, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not frustrated with how the game is being handled. I mean, I don't want to sound like gimme, but this is something that I've been talking to PR for quite some time, and then for them to just go, first of all, for them to ignore you, not just us. There's been a lot of people that I've talked to, content creators, people who run small sites, people who run medium and sites like us, and they were told we're not getting it after we've been asking them for weeks, months on end. And this is something I've been saying for a while. If you don't want to work with us or just don't have an answer for us, then just contact us and go, hey, blah, 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 blah. All right, cool, thanks. You're not getting it. Thank you. Instead of just stringing me along and I don't know what's going on, I'm like, all right, well, if we don't get this, then I got to go buy a copy for whoever's going to review the game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No, what really sucks is this game comes out during PAX.
It comes out like August 20th or 21st, so it's still like a week before PAX, but it's still a week before PAX.
And I'm not going to rush to review this game. I mean, these games are right up my alley. I'm not going to rush to review this game. No, it's going to wait. Did you say, oh? No, I mean, I'm not working right now, but still, I'm not going to rush this game. No, this game is going to wait till I come back from PAX. I'm going to play it, obviously. I'll stream it, but I'm not going to be like, yep, I'm going to rush to this review because I like to review my PC games and I like to put them through the ringer. And I like to be honest and upfront about how the game is. So
maybe after PAX, games on our own benchmarks.
Exactly. I mean, if it's not a long game, then we'll see. But yeah, I'm just a little frustrated on how that was handled. I didn't like that whatsoever. It was not cool. Was not cool whatsoever. Scott, what do you have to say about it? Because I've been running my mouth.
I mean, I'm excited for Black Myth Wukong. The game itself looks good, but yeah, I'm really frustrated. I am kind of disappointed that it took a while for us to even get an answer, especially because we already knew when the codes and everything were going out. So it's sad that it took as long as it did to get a response. I am still happy at least we got a response. That is always a big plus. But yeah, it's unfortunate of just how Wukong's been going, especially because this game looks to be one that could be a really good game.
Yeah. And not just that, it's the Chinese mythology that I'm looking forward to seeing. Yeah, I like when a developer puts the heart and soul into the mythology of something that actually exists. That it's not a made up mythology. They're actually taking folklore from Chinese legends and whatnot. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, give us more Journey to the West games over here. I know that China still makes a bunch of them, just they never get ported anywhere.
Because we got Goku.
Ton of Chinese games that never get moved outside China.
We got Goku. We don't need it. We got Dragon Ball. That's what they're saying. These uncultured swine don't need this. They got Dragon Ball. You can go away. But no, you're
One of
serious.
my-
You're right. We had one game that came out years ago, and I heard it was good. I didn't play it. I heard it was good.
Yeah, I mean, my most excited thing in Dynasty Warriors was when they had Warriors Orochi bring in Sun Wukong as a playable character. I thought that was sweet.
Sucks. It definitely does suck. But we'll see what happens. But let's go to the positive side of things.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really positive because so for weeks we knew about the Astrobot DualSense controller. Another game that PlayStation won't talk to us about. Come on, PlayStation. But come on, Fly, get out here. They had a DualSense controller that they've been talking about for a couple of weeks before they went up for sale. I don't know if you purchased one.
I did.
He did. So I woke up that morning. I came downstairs, did my stuff, tried to log into the website. Website was like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean, no? It's like, no.
Yeah.
There's some error with the website in Chromium browsers. It was like, no. I was like, okay, fine. Switch over to another browser. Tried to buy it, and it would not take my credit card information. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then I go on Twitter and on Reddit, everybody's saying the same thing. It won't take my credit card information. It won't let me buy the controller. And I'm like, what do you mean you won't? It's like, do you not want my money? I have money. Here you go. Take all my money. And it's like, no.
Yeah, I had to go into a incognito mode and then refresh it like almost every few minutes just to see if I could enter details into the credit card information. And when I was finally able to, I got so excited to hit enter, and then it was like, sorry, there's an error. And I was like, what do you mean there's an error?
She's like, there was what error? So while that was happening, I was going on eBay. I was like, let me go on eBay because these controllers are probably sold out. So I went on eBay, as I'm doing right now. Astrobot, by the way, if you don't have a PlayStation 5, I'm not saying that this new Astrobot might be a reason to buy a PlayStation 5, but oh my God, does this look fun?
It does.
Oh my God. Leave me alone. When does this come out? I need to play this. Just leave me alone, guys. It's like September or something.
Yeah, let me double check.
I don't know. It's September 6th.
September 6th, yeah. Okay.
That's not that far away.
No, it isn't.
Oh, God.
Right after PAX.
There's too many. I hope I'm not working by then. No, I'm going to play Astrobot. Oh, man. So this controller looks just like Astrobot with the, I want to say it's like glacier white. It's not exactly. Let me see if my camera kills me here. It's not exactly. Wow, it doesn't like that. See, it's blurry. Yeah. It's not as white or not. This seems like a dullish white.
Yeah.
That one seems more like a glacier white with blue accents around it, and it looks just like Astrobot. Sadly, the touchscreen does not have blue LEDs in it like everybody thought it did.
No,
which is sad because that would be cool. But I know for a fact that somebody out there is likely going to make a mod for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody's gonna make a mod and they're gonna blink and everybody's gonna go, oh, that's the best thing ever. Yep. But right now, I do see a lot of scalpers are selling the controller on eBay. Some are pretty pricey.
Yeah,
so
don't buy it from eBay. Just wait for a restock for those who are actually waiting to get it.
Yeah. I think while these are limited edition, I hope Sony has learned their lesson and won't be, for lack of a better word, screwing over its consumers, its fans, its audience. I really hope not. But I did manage to get one finally. I was like, what the heck? Give me a controller. I finally got one. And in the back of my head, I'm like, Keith, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 or 13 DualSense controllers.
Dang. I only got 3.
Well, because when I was helping people buy PlayStations, when they were being so limited, they would come in those stupid bundles.
Oh, the double bundles, yeah.
And I was like, well, here's your other controller. And they're like, I don't want another controller. I'm like, well, I don't want it. Well, keep it. So I'm like, we're gonna do another controller. And I've helped so many people get bundles. It's like, well, now I've got controllers. Great. And then I brought a couple of the
same problem where I had to help people get PS5s because nobody could really work on getting them otherwise.
Right. They were just, and then I also got a couple of the red ones. I got the purple one. The purple one was sexy. I got the black one. I brought the Spider-Man one, which I sold because I sold it.
It's fine. As long as you didn't scalp it.
No, I sold it for regular price. So I don't really need this. I can't sell these other guys, but I was like, here, I don't need this anymore. I still have my dual sense Edge, which was a dumb mistake buying, which just was right up there by buying that PlayStation VR2 headset. We won't talk about that mistake.
But now there's an adapter.
There's an adapter, and it's not working out
able to
well.
buy.
It's not working out well, apparently. There's a lot of people getting very frustrated with that adapter. Go figure. Thanks, Sony. But yeah, so the Astrobot controller, it has sold out pretty much everywhere right now. If you can get it, even if you don't think you want it, and maybe you want it, and maybe you just wanted to scalp it, I'm not saying you should, but get it to get it.
I mean, we do not endorse scalping, but we do understand it.
Get the controller. I mean, don't scalp it. If you like collecting controllers, which myself, I know a lot of other people do, get it. It's one of the, I don't want to say it's the best controller that PlayStation has released, but it is one of the better ones, and it's better than the ugly LeBron James controller. Oh god, that was hideous.
Thank goodness.
God, that was hideous. Yeah, definitely get that controller. Definitely get it. I love it. All right, I lost my list. What are we talking about next? No, 2 game science, DualSense. Yes, Space Marine 2. This is another game that I am highly looking forward to. I played the original Space Marine way back in the day, and I affectionately called it Gears of War Warhammer 40,000 because that's what it was. And the company was supposed to release a sequel that was THQ, the original THQ, before it went under. But now we have this, and Focus Home and the developers working on this, or Focus Entertainment. It's no longer Focus Home, it's Focus Entertainment. Excuse me. They recently gave a lot of content creators and YouTubers and outlets access to the game. No, we didn't get access to the game. Stop kicking me when I'm down. And the game looks amazing, from the weapons to the gameplay. If you're a fan of Warhammer 40,000 and you like first-person shooters, War Machines, Space Marine 2 is going to be right up your alley. It looks amazing. It looks amazing, and everybody that's played it says it plays great too. A lot of people have already said that this is their game of the year, and the game's not even out yet, and it's their game of the year. Given the fact that how many games have we had this year that people said game of the year? What was that one DLC that came out? Oh, right, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree that people said was the game of the year. It's like, it's a DLC. It can't be game of the year.
No.
But
it's still gonna have lots of people advocating it as a game of the year.
I mean, to be honest, it technically should be allowed. It's a game.
Pretty much.
It's the game. It should be allowed. Just because it requires a base game doesn't mean anything. It should be allowed. But I've been looking at these impressions of this game, and I'm looking at some more now, and it's just making me sad that I can't play this game. Everybody's just like, it's so good. It's so it looks good. It plays good. Freaking play the game. It's literally everybody will not shut up about this game. I played 25 hours. I played 40 hours. Space Marine 2 is even bigger than the first game. Space Marine 2 is so much better than what I thought it would be. Gosh, stop it. It's like, stop. And they're just posting hundreds of images and videos. And it's like, and guess when this game comes out?
Is it also September? No.
September 9th. It was like, oh hey.
My gosh.
So we got Black Myth Wukong, and then we got Astrobot, and then we got Space Marine 2. God, I really hope my job. It's like, oh, what the hell's going on with all these games coming out in the span of September, and then November it's going to be even worse. But I wish I could say more about this game, but I have not played it, so I can only go off what people said, and I've already told you what people said. They said it's amazing, it looks amazing, it plays amazingly. Sucks that you don't have access to a key. Sorry. I hate you people. I hate you so much. Stop teasing me. You know, you just tell me, Keith, I can't talk to you about this game. Sorry. Great. I understand. Speaking about not talking about games, see what I did there? So
segue.
Disney recently had its Everything About Disney convention event where they talk about their upcoming movies and their TV shows and made everybody happy about Disney. But they were completely absent when it came to talking about its games, unless it's Fortnite, because Fortnite,
It's not a Disney game. It just has Disney skins.
right? It's just the only game that ever exists that Disney even cares about, which is very frustrating. So I actually wrote an article about this, and I was very frustrated about this because one, everybody who covered the D23 event was like swooning over it. It was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. We got all this. We got these new Marvel movies coming out. We've got Frozen 3 that takes up 2 movies. Why does Frozen 3 need 2 movies?
I don't know. They just want something to cash grab on, I guess. And Frozen is an easy guess.
And we don't need another damn song that stays in people's heads for years.
No, we don't.
Just no, we don't need to do that. We've got Moana 2. We've got Toy Story 5. Why do we have a Toy Story 5?
I don't know. I thought they were done at 3, and then a 4 came out.
The end, and then you had 4, and then 4 came out, and then it was like, okay, whatever. And then it was Bo Peep ran off with Woody, and like, all right, so they're gone, and it's just Jesse and Buzz and the rest of the crew, and now all of a sudden Woody's back. I thought he went out with Bo Peep. How is he back?
I have no idea.
Why is he back?
The Toy Story saga is starting to make less and less sense with every movie.
So, but everybody's getting hyped out about all this stuff, and and I'm like, but they've got like 5 games coming out. They've got Marvel Rivals. They've what? Let me just bring up my list because I'm going to forget everything. Because I'm very frustrated about this because this makes no sense. Why Disney ignored all their games? All right, so we got Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's coming out.
We've got Star Wars Outlaws.
Also this year.
We've got Marvel 1943. Why they didn't talk about this game is beyond me.
That game is gonna be pretty epic, in my opinion.
Oh yes! Oh my God! Yes.
It has like an all-star team working on it. The premise itself is pretty epic.
the premise itself is from the Captain America Black Panther Flags of Our Fathers comic.
Yeah.
Like when the Captain America first met the Black Panther, not T'Challa, Wakanda, what is it? T'Challa. Yeah, T'Chaka. I think no, is it not? Is it T'Chaka? I don't know. Maybe it's him. But that's the first time they fought. This is the first time they meet up.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? We've got the Howling Commandos, we've got espionage, we've got action, and you didn't even mention the game. Didn't mention Marvel's Blade. Why? Didn't mention Wolverine. It's in development. Why didn't you talk about this game?
Seriously, there's so. Plus, I mean, I'm just wearing this on my sleeve, but there's also supposed to be a Kingdom Hearts game coming out this year or next year, depending on when they actually wanted to release it.
Stop hurting yourself,
called Missing Link.
Stop hurting yourself, Scott. We're not seeing that game for another 5 years.
Hey, Missing Link should be coming out either this year or next year. Kingdom Hearts 4 I've already accepted isn't going to be coming out till 2030.
And then now on top of those, you got Epic Mickey Rebrushed.
Yeah, that's coming out.
You've got Disney, the Dreamlight, which everybody can't stop talking about. Nothing about that. They got a new pixel-based RPG for handhelds or for the phones.
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse one.
Right. Didn't talk about that. Didn't talk about Speedstorm.
No.
Didn't talk about anything. Not a thing.
Like Disney was like, forget gaming exists.
Disney was like, we're just gonna talk about these movies and stuff, but they keep saying that they're going all in on gaming, and they've given their blessing for these studios to work on these games, and they have said nothing about these games.
Seriously.
And then again, you had all these outlets and content creators going, oh yeah, and it's like, did you guys cover games, right? IGN, you cover games. Polygon, you cover games. Game Spot, you cover games. Did it ever come to your, what was it? Did it ever strike you that there were no games talked about during this event other than Fortnite? Did you not think that was odd? Why did you not say something? Obviously, what you say carries more weight than what I say, which sucks. But end of the day, it is what it is. Why didn't you say something? You said nothing. And all these games just nothing.
Nope.
I mean, I get it that there's a Gamescom coming up and they'll talk about some of these games, but this was a Disney event. These are Disney games. These are your properties. You should have talked about. This is
an event that a lot of more of the casual audience is probably be paying attention to, especially Disney casual audiences. This is almost perfect to be like, hey, Are you waiting for the Captain America movie that's going to be coming out? What if if we show you a Captain America video game that's going to be coming out?
You could have showed us Indiana Jones and said, "Hey, this is a new game coming out. We haven't talked about much. Here you go. Here's Harrison Ford on stage to tell you about the game. You got a new Star Wars game coming out. And let me tell you about a secret character who we haven't told any about yet. You missed your opportunity. You had so many chances. Not a one. It's like, why? Why did you do this?
Yeah, they really don't care as much as they say they do.
No. Insert the John Travolta gif. Because that's exactly what it was. Nothing.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off. So frustrated about that. All right, Scott, this is all you. You know what it is. We're talking about this.
Alrighty. So for those of you who are wondering about Half-Life 3, stop worrying about it because it's probably still not coming out.
But I thought Half-Life Alyx was Half-Life 3. That's what people keep telling me.
I mean, if you want to go by numbering and everything, Half-Life 2.1 was 3, but we're not going to go that way.
I mean, if you did that for Street Fighter, holy crap.
But another Valve game that they're working on had a playtest this past week. And this playtest was for those who are usually active on Steam, will get random invite codes. I noticed a few people from my Twitter that I follow got invite codes because they're usually pretty active on Steam. And basically, this game is called Deadlock, and it's the next game that Valve is working on. And they've been kind of working on it in the shadows, not really telling anything about it because they're not sure that it's yet up to par for their own type of quality assurance. But they want to still test the servers, test everything so there are many people to play the game. So they can make sure that, a play test goes through, that they can actually have still the scope of the servers correct. So they can have as many people. It's basically testing as much as they can with playing the games. It's pretty common for online games to have these types of play tests that go on.
Yep.
A lot of these play tests will begin with also telling you and having little watermarks all over saying, hey, make sure you don't share anything about this game anywhere because this is just a play test to basically improve our efficiency of basically working on the game.
Don't say
a lot of those pre-tests, a lot of the journalists will always basically not really talk about it online. They'll usually do it in private circles or private subreddits where all those subreddits are other people who've also got access to the game kind of a deal. And even their own Discord, Valve opened up a Discord just for the game for people to talk about it, to help them find bugs, to have features. And one of the big things to get into their Discord is you have to accept not to talk about the game publicly. Well, like all good things, they don't always end up 100% accurate. We had an outlet called The Verge that went on and documented everything about the playtest, how to play it, how to get in, what it consists of, and all of this other stuff that was supposed to be locked behind the don't talk about this section.
You ever watch that one movie from Disney, or is it Disney? What is it? It's an animated movie. I don't remember
There's
anymore.
A lot of animated movies.
Yeah, I know. That wasn't very good. I'm so sorry to cut you off. I need to because it ties into this. It ties into it. It was the last 3-4 years. Maybe 5. Encanto.
Yeah.
Encanto. Here's one part. We don't talk about Bruno.
Yes.
We don't talk about Deadlock. I'm sorry. It took a long to get the punchline, guys.
That's
old
fine.
hair. Yeah, old hair. I'm old. I'm forgetful.
But after The Verge had its writer and its editor basically pushed this out, they also then noted that they got kicked off the beta and the playtest.
Whoops.
I wonder why. It could not have been the giant thing that says don't talk about this game publicly. Because on your platform, especially when you're a journalist and you have an audience, that is very public. This is exactly what is that supposed to mean not to talk about. And even though there are people who are saying, well, it's just a gentleman's embargo because it's not like a real embargo you sign. You don't really sign embargoes digitally anymore. Like the only thing you do is click OK, or you just say I accept. Like you don't sign anything anymore. And even when you look at Steam, like there's like a third-party agreement on most Steam games that you have to follow the rules of the game in order to play the game. It's just nobody actually, reads the rules. They just click the OK button.
This is so true. We're going to take your firstborn child and all your money. Okay, sure.
And people are trying to say, well, they just press the escape key. It's like, well, you press the escape key to open the application or to open the game. But to actually start the application, you still have to accept a third-party agreement from Steam that tells you exactly you need to obey the rules.
That pisses me off so much because it's like
people don't understand how that works because nobody cares about rules anymore.
That's the thing. That's the thing that frustrates me.
There's another side of this argument that people are saying that this is how journalists is. Like, no, this isn't how journalists do things. When journalists see things that are negative, they will talk about it first privately with the people. And if they don't get responses or if they get ignored, then they go to the public. But this isn't that at all. The thing this is right now is just basically clout. This has nothing to do with them actually trying to spread a message of journalism as much of, I want to be the first to say this thing. And because of that, people are trying to fight as if this is the right thing, but it's not the right thing. This isn't doing anything. You aren't doing anything but saying, hey, I was first.
That's it. That's it.
You aren't special. Stop thinking you are, Verge.
And the thing that makes me mad is, and I already said I was going to get a lot of people to clown me, and I really don't care. I've got thick skin, But there was no defending this. There were people saying that they got around it. They didn't hit this. There was no NDA. There's no defending this. When we go to preview events, we're told in the event, don't talk about this. Do not. When we went to Summer Game Fest, perfect example. Yes. We were there with various people from various outlets. We went to the Dragon Ball one, for an example. They were like, do not talk about this game. And they said multiple times, do not release footage of this game until we tell you can do so.
Yes.
Literally it. And that's how it works. When I go to the preview events online, the very seldom ones, the small ones I get to go to, I want to do more. But they tell me, do not talk about this game until we are ready to tell you to talk about this game. But see, the problem with this is, and this is what makes me mad, is because we're a smaller outlet, we are more careful about burning our bridges because we don't want that to happen. We want people to look at us. We want outlets, or we want publishers and developers and everybody else to go, okay, these people are trustworthy. They're not going to go ahead and blab about what we told them not to do. But the problem is with larger sites, and we've seen this from time and time and time again, they break embargoes. They talk about stuff they're not supposed to, and nothing happens. Okay, so in this instance, he got his account banned. Now, do you know if he got his Steam account banned, or?
I think that was just banned from the playtest. I don't think they got the Steam account
so
banned. And honestly, I don't know if I would go that harsh on it, but I mean, part of me feels like, yes, that's vindication. But for a lot of us that are big into like the game journalist team, our Steam accounts are kind of loaded.
Yeah, and that's another topic that I keep saying. Why isn't there just like a Steam account that's set for your outlet that goes, hey, here are the games that we give you access to.
Yeah.
And maybe after review you keep them, but play test, blah, 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 you don't get access to anymore. But that's something to talk about at a later time. The problem I have is, again, because you're a larger outlet or a bigger personality, you feel that you can do that. Now, I've talked to various people, and people were like, some agreed with me, some didn't agree with me. Some were saying that I'm taking it too far, that I need to stop acting silly. It's not a big deal. And it's like, no, but it is a big deal, because the thing is, it's who did it. Now, if it was a smaller site who did this, you'd be like, look what they did. They should have known better. Crying for bloody murder. We've seen this.
Yes.
But when it's a larger site, don't do that. Oh, they're okay. They can do that. It wasn't a big deal. It was just a gentleman's agreement. It was fine. That's not how that worked. This is not a double-edged sword. And the thing that really makes me mad is some people that I respect in this space are defending it. They're literally bending over backwards defending it instead of going, you know what? You're right. That was not the right thing to do. Seriously, you can't have it both ways.
No.
Either it was wrong or it was right. That's literally it. When we start having things like this in the gray issue or gray space, is when we start having problems. You can say whatever you want. This was not right.
No.
Now, I would love to have Valve. They're not going to do it because Valve is considered to be the good guy in this space. They really are. I would love to have Valve come out and go, you know, we did this because this person did this, even though we told the person not to do this. And they're not going to make an example out of them. They would probably not make an example out of anybody. This is how the Valve is. But it was still wrong.
Yeah. Valve will be the bigger man in this, most likely, anyways.
What makes me mad is if say Scott was writing about a game that we were told not to talk about, that article would not go live. I'm like, no, they told us no. But Scott knows better. He keeps going, hey, I don't know if this is when this thing is coming out. Can you just check and make sure that this is not wrong? Everybody here does that. We check. We don't like breaking embargoes. We don't like pissing off people. Even when they send us stuff in email and they go, don't talk about this. There's no embargo, but they're asking us, don't talk about this. Cool. I had one person go, then what's the point of going to an event if you can't talk about it? Because you wait until they tell you to, or maybe you play test the game to give them feedback on what you thought about the game. It's not always
need to understand that a lot of the journalists, things that we do, is also for the developers.
Exactly.
I think that's one thing people don't understand about like Digital Foundry. A lot of the things that they do for like testing the actual technical stuff is so that they can actually help developers find out where the source of different bugs or features are. And they even say on a lot of times that they'll send it first to the outlets to say, hey, we want you to do this before they push things live. And that's something that's important for journalists too, is that we aren't here just for people to know things. We're also here to help developers and PR teams with doing their job. We're supposed to be helping everyone in the industry. It's not just we're here for the consumer. We are here for the consumer because we're going to try to also push things to, hey, is this game worth your time or not? That is part of what we do as journalists. But another part of this is, hey, PR teams or developers, you need to fix this bug in the game before we put it live.
And I don't want to say that if we got a big scoop or we had access to a game that we wouldn't want to try and talk about it. Oh, hell yes, we would.
Yeah.
But if they tell us not to do it, our hands are tied. We're not going to do it. We can release something and be the first person on the internet to have this information. Fantastic. One, we won't be the first person because somebody eventually will see us and also copy what we do.
They'll copy it and then they'll be seen as the first person.
And then another person will do it, and another person will do it. And this is how the industry works. But if we're told not to do something, that's it. That's the door. We won't do it. So I don't see how you can defend this. I'm sorry. Call me what you want, say what you want. I don't see this as being something that is a win for the industry. I see this as something that is detrimental, and it's going to bite somebody in the ass.
Yeah.
That's it. I said it. I don't like it.
It's disappointing, especially because like The Verge is definitely one of the more places I go to for some of the reviews and stuff too. And they're usually pretty good about this. So it's just sad that right now they're basically dying on a hill that they don't need to die on, kind of a deal.
They don't need the clicks. They don't need the traffic. They are one of the biggest. And it's like, so why do this? Why did you do this? You could have waited.
You could have.
Somebody was like, well, if they don't write about it, maybe somebody else will. But if they're told not to, and they're respectable, then they won't do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. People are like, well, there's some YouTube videos from the like random people. You go on it, there's like 2 views. It's like probably because they're trying to get clout too, but very few of these YouTube videos are getting any traction. There's not getting any eyes on it.
They said not to stream the game.
Yeah.
There are always going to be idiots. There are always going to be people that get access to a game and they're told, don't stream it. Don't make any videos about it. Don't talk about it. And they still do it. And those videos don't last long.
No, they usually get taken down in the middle of the stream or at the end of it.
So I mean, there's a reason why when people do this, they kind of name their stream something completely different instead of calling it the name of the game.
Yes.
So I don't like it, not because we run this site. We don't like it because in the end of the day, it's going to hurt us all. So who's to say that Valve will go, you know what? Since they did that, we can't trust anybody anymore. Maybe
that's
we
what
won't
Nintendo does.
Maybe we won't do any kind of external testing. We'll just do it all in house now.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So there you go. I said it. Feel free to reach out to me at Shadow Hector on Twitter and also email me at keith@theyouterhaven.net. I am waiting for your angry emails. All right. So speaking of angry, we got one more topic that is going to frustrate me. Warner Brothers wants to license their game properties. Now, if you have not been following Warner Brothers, they have been in dire straits in terms of gaming for quite some time.
Yeah.
And before this, people were speculating that they were going to sell their company to somebody else. Now, they also tried to do this. Was it rumored like a year ago they were also going to do this, sell their properties?
Yeah, there's rumor that they're going to start selling off some of the properties. A lot of it was going to be like, I think, the game licenses for certain characters. But now it sounds like they're planning on doing a licensing deal instead.
So basically doing a Disney thing.
Pretty much.
Now, in terms of what they have for gaming, I mean, they just purchased, which doesn't make any sense to me. They just purchased Player First, which is the developer for Multiverses. They have NetherRealms for Mortal Kombat, Injustice, and whatever else they make. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, whatever.
Yeah, they have Rocksteady Studios for that.
And whoever is working on, I forget, the new Wonder Woman game.
Yeah, I can't remember who's working on that either.
And I'm not sure who worked on the what are they? The Middle Earth games?
Yeah.
I don't know who did those. I forget. It's been a while.
It has been a while. Look that up in a while.
Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth, Shadow Mordor, and Shadow War. Mordor was an amazing freaking game. But
yeah.
I don't remember who works on it, but that's regardless. It belongs to WB. So the question is, do you think that them selling their licenses will be successful? Because you got to think, even though they have like the Middle Earth, all these games, Lord of the Rings, or whatever, they don't own the rights to those things. Those belong to somebody else.
That's the only real ones that they kind of own the rights to is probably going to be like their DC characters.
Right. And their Mortal Kombat and things like that.
Mortal Kombat,
that's literally it. And the question begs, who would you sell that to? Why would you sell that to? Or
I don't know.
Oh, and the Legos, some of the Lego games.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would buy that? Who wants that?
I'm sure there's some companies that probably want to have IP similar to that, because I know like Tencent uses Lord of the Rings all the times. But it's just one of those. It's weird. I mean, I think it's better for them to try to do the licensing thing than just selling things outright. But there's also another dumb rumor that's going around saying that they're planning on keeping their IPs and selling off all their game studios. But I had one of those. It's just another rumor. So
that just sounds dumb. Sell NetherRealm, sell them. That is one of the companies that is keeping you afloat.
Yeah.
Why would you get rid of that?
So yeah, Discovery has not been a good head for WB at all.
No, that was terrible. That was a terrible deal. That was a terrible, terrible deal.
I mean, you have literally like the guy who talks about how gaming and comics are terrible, and now he's over gaming and comics, and now you're wondering why a lot of their comics and gaming properties are going as far downhill as they are.
It's just in my head. I'm shaking my head a lot because in my head, I'm like, it's just, this doesn't make any sense to me. None. It makes no sense to me. No. None of it. the merging of Discovery and WB, the fact that W mismanages its gaming properties. Now they're talking about we want to license our properties somewhere else, which seems like that would be the ultimate way downward or out of the gaming scene, or sell their properties.
Yeah.
Why would you sell NetherRealm? It's the company that is keeping you up. Why would you sell NetherRealm?
Where would you be without Mortal Kombat?
You would sell everything else and keep that, because can you look outside of what was it, Midway? NetherRealm has been synonymous for Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
And could you see WB and NetherRealm not being a company, not being together?
It'd be weird.
If I was Capcom, I put on my money and go, I'll buy it.
Put them on a Street Fighter property.
We now own Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. There you go.
That would be terrible.
No more fatalities, no more gore, no more blood, nothing.
Oh, jeez.
There you go. Think about that one for a second.
That does not sound like fun. I mean, that's just another of buying up your competition too. That's a whole other fun thing to have to discuss.
Oh yeah, it's
not like us in the game industry know anything about people buying up the competition or anything.
Yeah, I mean that's unheard of. That's completely unheard of. It's just something to think about. There's not a lot of information out there about that. It's just a lot of hearsay and speculation, because WB has not come out and officially said anything, which is I don't think they're going to.
No,
they don't know what they're doing.
Take basically anything that WB is coming out of rumors of is with a grain of salt, because there's so many rumors about how WB's headed, and I think that's just because of how many people are, I don't know, invested in either a downfall of WB or invested in WB getting better. So there's always going to be some kind of weird amount of people trying to spread rumors that don't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. But that said, licensing it is probably, I think, the only rumor I've seen actually getting any traction. The other ones are just like thrown out into the wild.
They can sell them. They can sell it to Xbox.
I'm sure Xbox would want to buy it, but I don't know if Microsoft will want to spend more money after how much money they've had to spend and how much politics they had to deal with the FTC after this last purchase.
Would you really want Xbox to buy it? I mean, would you really want Xbox to buy it?
No. Xbox is having enough trouble managing what they have right now.
Exactly. And no disrespect to Xbox. Yeah, I have a on and off love-hate relationship with them, but no, you got to stop throwing out your money and actually get your shit together.
Get your studios managed before you try getting more of them.
Yeah, you don't need any more. You need to get your ship. I was going to say ship the first time, but I said screw it. Together. Get games out. Stop firing companies that you shouldn't have gotten fired. Speaking of which, if you haven't heard, Tango Gameworks is now picked up by...
I mean, it's Tencent overall, but I can't remember what the actual individual company is called.
They got sold and got picked up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm glad that it happened, and I'm glad the fact that most of the people are being picked up because Crafton, which I wanted you to, is the company that picked them up, which is weird, but they're keeping a Hi-Fi Rush, and I think they said they're keeping about 50 people. That may be all the people. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, there's no set number of how many, as much as they just said they're keeping a lot of the developers from Tango.
So that's good. I didn't want to segue into that, but that needed to be mentioned, and that Xbox is keeping, or Microsoft Xbox, whatever, too. Evil Within and what's the other one? Ghostwire, Ghostwire Tokyo. And I'm kind of sad about that, because that means we'll probably never see another Evil Within again. If somebody took that property, that maybe they would work on it. Maybe.
I mean, I know Microsoft's probably not going to do anything with it right now.
So yeah, and yes, as Scott said, yes, Crafton is the subsidiary, but Tencent and a bunch of other people have stock in that company. So
yeah,
yep, there it goes. We'll see, but yeah,
again, buying up the competition.
Yeah, it's kind of a trend anymore. It's kind of a trend.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see what exactly is going to happen. But Yeah, I'm not buying into these rumors from WB. I don't like buying into a lot of rumors. I just want to. I just. I have this thing where I want the companies to come out and say what exactly they're going to do. Just tell us. It's not hard to go. We've heard the rumors. We don't know what we're doing. We'll keep you guys abreast. You know what that would do? It would stop the speculation. It would tell people that you're actually serious or not serious. Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard? People have a problem telling the truth in this industry.
They really do, because they want to get the clicks. Engagement right now is like the only reason people are in journalism for some reason.
You mean instead of telling the truth and being honest?
Apparently.
Holy crap. What happened to that?
It can't be monetized, so nobody cares.
Yeah, that's definitely true. That is definitely true. We can say that we can definitely say that. Yeah, it's definitely not. There was a significant talk about the Asus ROG Ally and Steam Deck, or SteamOS, I should say. I'm not sure if you saw, Scott, but it was noticed that SteamOS is being prepared for the ROG Ally. They've seen some things in the code mentioned, and Valve has basically stated that, oh yes, we are working on support for the ROG Ally, but only when we're ready. Now, the funny thing about this is, for those who actually followed SteamOS when it was actually going to be part of the Steam Machine Initiative way back when, SteamOS was supposed to be going to be developed for various machines, and this only makes sense to continue that initiative by saying, oh hey, we see that the ROG Ally is a fairly popular handheld device. Why will we not put SteamOS on there? I mean, yeah, it would stop the sales from the Steam Deck, and I'm not saying that I didn't put a certain OS on my ROG Ally, which runs great, by the way. That being Bazite. Definitely check that out. It's amazing. It's a pain in the ass to install on your ROG Ally, but oh my god, it's great. It's going to make my Steam Deck obsolete.
So it works better than Windows, is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. But I would love for Valve to have a native SteamOS installation for the ROG Ally. You know, you download it to an SD card, you put it in, and it installs it.
Boom.
Done. Literally done. Go through the process. Do you want to dual boot to Windows as well, in case you need to play games like
games that don't work on that SteamOS?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you just done. An official SteamOS distro from Valve.
That'd be sick.
You just won the handheld war. Not even by selling your own handheld, but just making it available for your competition.
Yeah.
The only thing that will make it better, make this better, is if Valve went and said, okay, so this bigger screen, bigger SoC, and we got something that is proprietary to this. And that's how you have a proper system war.
It's interesting to think about that there's handheld wars going on, and it's all PCs basically.
One device to rule them all. I've been saying that for years. I'm going to keep saying it. Make your money off of software.
Mm-hmm.
Done. That's all you have to do. Software. But it's interesting to see that that's a thing. I'm going to be following this for a while I'm happy. I'm very optimistic about this. So I'm becoming more and more entrenched in the handheld gaming scene, which is
it's getting better.
I didn't want to do, but it's happening. It's happening. God, it's happening. You shouldn't say anything. You're just as bad.
I am. I literally have like my Switch and ROG Ally and Steam Deck near me.
I hate you, Switch. Never turn on again. Unless there's a cool Mario game coming out. Then yes. I'll play you. But other than that, no. So we have reached the end of the Spectator Mode Podcast, where we decided to talk about something that is not on the script. Scott, are you taking your wife to see Aliens Romulus?
I haven't decided on that yet, but that's actually a good idea.
Are you going to go see it?
I might. I have to wait till Saturday.
I'm a big Aliens fan. I am. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Aliens. Not the versus ones. I didn't really care too much for those.
That's fair.
Prometheus was okay. It wasn't Aliens. I get it. It just wasn't. Alien Covenant. Okay. But I've heard nothing but greatness for Romulus. So
That's
I
exciting.
really want to go see it. But the problem is my wife has said no, she's not going to go. When we were at what movie was it? We just went to a movie. Can't remember what it was. Oh, right. Deadpool and Wolverine.
That was a good movie.
And they showed the trailer for Aliens at Romulus, and she was like, nope, I'm not gonna go.
Can't watch.
No, I'm not gonna go. Come on. I go with you to see your stupid chick flick movies. You can go watch scary aliens. He's like, nope, I'm not going. I'm like,
no, that's sad.
Relationship over. That's it. I can't right now, wife. You failed me. Yeah, but I'm definitely going. I don't know. It'll probably be Friday or it'll probably be the weekend. I got so many things lined up now things that want my attention, but I don't want it to have my attention.
Yeah, that's fair.
I definitely need to go see this. People need to stop talking to me about like, Keith, this is a great movie. You gotta go see this. Shut up. I know already. Please leave me alone. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see that. Also, guys, if you are not aware, PAX West, there goes my voice. I was waiting for that. PAX West 2024 takes place in 2 weeks now. Just about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Taking place from August 30th to August
until September 1st. Yep.
September. I said August. So it's 30th, 31st. Yeah. So, and wait, is it the first or the second? It takes place in the 30th, 30, 31.
It's the 30, 31st, and the 1st. So it's those 3 days.
I thought it was 4 days.
No, it's 3. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So
I think there's some that stay for Mondays, but there's like none do anything on Mondays.
I got plane tickets to get there on the 29th and leaving on the 2nd, but won't get me back home to the 3rd. But I'm trying to leave I'm trying to get an earlier ticket on the 2nd so I can come back home so I can start
typing
and talking about everything that happened at PAX, which is not going to be a lot because unfortunately PAX is getting overlapped by Gamescom.
Yeah, so there a lot of the bigger ones are going to Gamescom, but there's a lot of indies that's going to be at PAX. And a lot of the publishers that I follow is going to be there too.
You know who's going to be there? Power Rangers is going to be there.
Power Rangers is going to be there. That's
Power Rangers is going to be there. We were going to be getting some hands-on Power Rangers. There was another game.
Capcom's going to be there too.
Capcom's there with Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Street Fighter with Terry. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Yeah. So we didn't get a preview. We're going to play anyway, guys. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Yes.
That's going to be there. So they have a lot of stuff that will be at PAX, which I didn't think Capcom was going to do that. Now I'm just waiting for Bandai Namco to go. We're showing off. We're going to have Dragon Ball playable. So that'd be great.
They better. It's funny because the last time that Bandai was at PAX, they only had one title, and that was Tekken.
No, they were pushing.
They got a humongous booth to show off only Tekken. They had a humongous line for it too.
But they were pushing on Tekken. I mean, it's Tekken.
Tekken. So I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, it's like Bandai has so much more to offer than just Tekken.
There's Power Rangers. There's another one. There's the Karate Kid game from Game Mills.
Oh, right.
That's going to be there as well. So we're going to be playing that as well. So that's going to be interesting because Game Mills is not really known for its stuff. So
no,
it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays. It'll probably play like Scott Pilgrim. If they emulate Scott Pilgrim, it'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of indie games there. I definitely want to play. And just because I've never been to a PAX West, I've been to like 10 or 11 PAX East, but I've never been to a PAX West. So hopefully it doesn't disappoint. But it's going to disappoint a little bit because, again, it's going up against Gamescom, which really sucks.
Yeah, that will be a problem.
It's kind of like PAX East going up against GDC.
Yeah.
That wasn't good either.
That wasn't. It's weird that they're trying to like have so many events all at the same time.
Right?
I mean, I'm sure they do it because they know that journalists and the media are going to be already there. So they're like, well, you don't have to worry about like prolonging your stuff, but you now will have to worry about scheduling for 2 different events at the same time.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's all I gotta say, stop it, voice, is I'm looking forward to playing whatever they have there. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna make some new contacts. I'm gonna make some new friends, meet some old friends, and hopefully the weather doesn't suck. You're on the West Coast. Is the weather gonna suck, Scott?
It might.
It might. Is it gonna rain a lot?
I don't know. It's been a weird summer. There's been a lot less rain than there usually is, which means it's going to be a lot more yellow and brown grass and trees.
Well, I'm used to that. It's like 80, 90 degrees every day here, so I'm good with that. I just don't want it to be cold. I don't want to freeze.
I mean, it's been pretty hot so far. We'll see if it actually starts going down, because it's been in the 70s, 80s, and 90s the last few weeks.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I just don't. I don't want to be cold, and I don't want to be wet.
Yeah, I don't think I'm bringing a jacket at all.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to PAX. Looking forward to playing some games and having some fun. What about you? What else you got? You got anything before we bounce out of here?
I mean, I'm just excited that INS America is going to be there with.
Oh no, there is. See, there he goes. There he goes. And that's America.
We got trails at PAX.
There we go. So wait, is this the new one?
So this is going to be the one that doesn't come out until next year.
So Scott's gonna be like, so I need access to that code.
I need this now.
I need that now. Can you give me a preview to this? I need this now. I'm surprised you don't already have this right now. Of all the stuff you've done for them. I'm like, hey, look, I have a Steam Deck. I have ROG Ally. Give me access to the game now. I won't tell anybody that I have it. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Then I can make folks, like 30 different articles about trails and then push them all out after embargo.
he will do it. He will literally do it. He will literally do it. And that's why I love Scott. But guys, thanks for checking out Spectator Mode Podcast, episode 163. Myself, Scott here, holding it down because, you know, everybody else is out doing other things. And Jordan is playing Elden Ring, more than likely. So for myself, from Scott, thanks for watching. And hopefully we will see you at PAX West 2024. I almost said East. PAX West 2024. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. And we will see you. Wait, stop. Scott, are we going to record a podcast at PAX West?
We probably could if you want.
We're doing it at PAX West, guys. You heard that first. So we'll see you at PAX West 2024. We'll figure out the dynamics, the forensics. What's the word? We'll figure it out. All right. Thanks for watching. We're done for this time. We're serious. Take care. Take care and goodbye.
See ya.
I said take care. What is